What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to Unstoppable, the elite mind and body podcast for men. I'm your host, Taj Howell. Welcome back to the show. Today's episode is episode 80, which is actually insane. I've been doing this podcast on and off for 3 years. And we're just going to keep going, and we're just going to keep making it better and better and better and better. And today I've got a very important episode that I want all of you guys, especially my clients in my Evolved Brotherhood, to take very, very seriously. And it all starts with a question. And that question is, if we were sitting together 90 days from now, right, and everything had improved in your life, what would have happened? How would your relationships look? How would your body look? How would your bank account look? How would your sex life look? How would your relationship with your kids look? How would everything go? Okay. And that's a perfect bridge into the title for our podcast today, which is your quarterly review, making sure that you guys hit all of your targets in Q4 of 2025. If you're watching this and it's not Q4 2025, maybe it's 2030 or 2040. Don't know when you're watching this. This still applies, okay? Still applies to anyone that's looking to demolish their goals in a specific 90-day period, okay? And the first thing I want you guys to understand is that successful people track their progress, okay? Most men don't fail because they didn't try. They fail because they never reviewed. Okay? If you want to win in life, you don't just move and sprint towards the objective. You also need to measure, calculate, review, track progress. Okay? If you don't track things, you're not going to be able to set targets. And the thing is you'll find the majority of people that just try to brute force their way forward, a lot of the times they don't end up getting very far, because brute force, even though it is necessary at times, it's not the only thing that yields results. Taking a calculated approach and making sure that what you're doing is actually yielding results is the best way to also not just work hard, but to work smart. Okay. And I want to share with you guys how to work smart in this podcast. And I think it's going to be very, very impactful for you. We need to understand something from a macro level, right? If progress in any area requires a certain amount of action and effort, then we also have to understand that effort that we're putting in, that the actions that we're putting in, create data. Okay? And if we're not tracking that data, we're just fucking guessing, right? We don't know if our calls are yielding results in the business. We don't know if the workouts that we're doing are yielding fat loss results. We don't know if the food that we're eating is helping us build muscle. We don't know if buying our girls or boys or whoever we're with flowers is getting us more booty. We don't fucking know, okay? Unless we're tracking shit. And I want to make something very clear to you guys. If you're not tracking, you're slacking. Okay, it's the same thing with you guys' workouts. For all my members in my brotherhood, you guys know that I encourage you, not encourage, I tell you motherfuckers to track everything. Because if you're not tracking, we don't know what's going on. That's why I always get very frustrated when clients tell me, hey, coach, I'm not losing weight. And then I look at the calendar and it's blank. I'm like, bro, come on. We got to fucking track shit. If we don't track it, it's fucking slacking. You as well not even do it. Okay? Next thing I want you to understand, okay? Before I get into the action steps on what we're going to do for this podcast right here, I want you guys to understand something. The first step is to own the past. Okay, so if we're building a 90-day vision and 90-day goals and 90-day targets, we need to also own the past. We have to own everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, the mistakes, the wins, the victories of the last 90 days so that we can get, like I said, so we can review and get that data and then apply it to the next 90 days. So the first thing I want you guys to do is understand that you have to own the past, which is not about guilting yourself or shaming yourself. It's just about finding the truth, okay? Look back at the last 90 days like you're a coach, okay? If you've ever coached sports, you know that you review tape. If you've ever been an athlete in football or basketball or soccer or freaking rugby or whatever, you guys review tape, right? You remember, coach reviews the tape, we see what's working, we take action on fixing what's broken. We don't want any drama. We don't want any bullshit. Just want you guys to analyze everything and see what worked and what didn't. So you're going to ask yourself 3 questions. Okay. First question you're going to ask yourself is, what were my goals this past quarter? Okay. Written or unwritten, whether they were just mental goals, or if you're a member of my brotherhood, you guys know that you guys should all of you have your quarterly goals set. Okay. What were the targets? What were the goals? That's question number 1. Question number 2, which goals did you hit and which goals did you not hit? Actually, let's just do it one thing at a time. Question number 2 is, which goals did you hit? Okay. Question number 3 is, which goals did I abandon or make excuses for? Okay. Ask yourself those 3 questions and then understand something, that every single result that you got in the last quarter is something that you earned. Okay. So maybe you had an amazing quarter financially, but you didn't have an amazing quarter with your body. Take that into account. You earned the finances and you also earned 10 additional pounds on the scale. You earned the financial win by doing X amount of calls, programming X amount of things, by showing up and being the best possible employee, or by building the best possible architectural design for a new building that you're building, or from designing a new event that you've been designing in the last quarter. Whatever the case is, okay? Apply this to your job, apply this to your career, apply this to your business, apply this to your life. You got the result financially because you put in the effort and actions in that area. You also earned the result. You got to remember this. I want you guys to think about this way. You earned the result of an additional 10 pounds of body fat because you put in the actions and efforts of eating the wrong foods, not tracking your progress. I want you to shift the script and think about everything in your life, good or bad, as if you earned it, because that puts the onus on you. And that's the point that I want to make. That's one of the biggest points I want you to take away from this shit right now, is that everything in your life, good or bad, was earned from actions and efforts. Whether the actions and efforts yielded a positive or negative result is based solely upon the actions and efforts that were rendered, which means you earned everything. If you flip the script, maybe you had an amazing quarter with your body, not so great quarter with your finances. Maybe you blew through savings, maybe a shit hit the fan in the business, shit hit the fan with the spouse, maybe you're going through divorce, maybe you're financially hurting because of a deal went sideways in your real estate investing, whatever the case is, right? You also have to understand that you earned all those results. And that's when you say it like that, it gives you way more power to change. It gives you way more power to fix things. It's not like, oh, I fucked this up, I didn't do this good, I got to get better. It's like, I earned that result because of the actions and efforts that I rendered in that area. In order for me to improve the result, I need to improve the actions and efforts in that area. I hope this makes sense. Okay. So what you guys are going to do is you're going to fully own your last quarter, and you're going to understand that you got exactly what your standards and your habits fucking and decisions produce. Like, that's what you got. Okay. And that's not bad news. It's power. Because if you built it, then you can rebuild something better. You can build a better body. You can build better finances. You can build a better relationship. You can improve your sex life, right? You can improve any area of your life with that power. Okay. So what you're going to do now, after you review and own this shit, own your last 90 days. Don't just review it. Own the fuck out of it. What was good? What was bad? Take ownership. Take responsibility. You created those results, whether good or bad. Own them. And then what you're going to do is you're going to set your 3 targets for Q4. Okay. You're going to set a physical target. You're going to set a mental or emotional target. And you're also going to set a life target. Okay. Let me break this down and give you a couple different examples. Okay. So essentially, okay, for a physical target, you could do lose another 15 or 30 Technical difficulties. I think we're back. Are we back? I think we're back. I think we're back, guys. Okay, cool. Let's finish this thing off. Yeah, we're live. Okay, cool. Rock and roll. Rock and roll. Power went out. It's how it is. Sometimes when you live on an island, it just flickers off for about a second and a half. Hopefully it doesn't happen when we're live, but this time it fucking did. It is what it is. Okay, anyways, let's get straight into it. So, what I was saying, okay, before I got so rudely fucking interrupted by the power, was we're going to set 3 targets, okay? A physical target, a mental, emotional target, or a life target, okay? An example for a physical target would be losing however much weight or gaining however much muscle, hitting a certain amount of percentage of body fat, building visible abs, training 5 days a week without fail, or getting all your cardio in, et cetera, okay? Or running a marathon, a half marathon, whatever. A mental or emotional target would be, for example, cutting out distractions or vices, okay, such as alcohol, weed, drugs, video games, pornography. It's a huge one that a lot of guys struggle with. Cold plunging a few times a week, journaling every day, reading a certain amount of books over the course of a quarter, educating yourself better, or locking in a morning routine, a consistent morning routine. The third target is a life target, okay? And a life target can be literally anything you want. It could be closing a certain amount of deals, getting a certain amount of, generating a certain amount of revenue in your company, organization, or business, working on relationship, do like some sort of coaching, fitness coaching, or relationship coaching to get better in those areas. Moving, renovating, starting a new business project, starting a new personal project, saving a certain amount of dollar signs, whatever the case is, set a life target. So 3 specific targets, okay? Now, the challenge for everyone who's in my Brotherhood program, okay? The challenge for everyone who's in my Brotherhood program is to write out these 3 things, okay? You got 3-step process you guys are going to take right now. Step 1, you're going to do your Q. So this is called the Q4 contract, by the way, okay? So I want you to write this out in your lifestyle blueprints. Your quarter 4 contract is 3 parts. Number 1, you're going to do a quarterly review audit, okay? What did you accomplish in the last 90 days? What did you avoid doing that you were supposed to do, okay? And what did you learn? Those are the first 3 things to build inside of your quarterly review audit. So look at the last quarter and write out, what did you accomplish in the last 90 days? The good, the bad, the ugly, okay? Not just the good shit, also the losses. What did you avoid doing that you should have done? And what did you learn, okay? Step 2 is to set your Q4 targets, okay? So for next quarter, your targets are 1 for your body, like I said, right? Your 1 for your physical target, 1 for your mental, emotional target, and 1 for your life target, okay? Then the third thing to do, step 3, is to share this shit with the Brotherhood, okay? Put it in the Brotherhood chat, and lock that in and let us know what your declarations are. What you're going to do for the Brotherhood call, for the quarterly review, it's on Friday at noon. If you're watching this and you're a part of my program, it's on Friday at noon. We're gonna have everyone come to the same call, and you're going to share with us those 6 things, okay? Nothing else. Nothing about fitness, nothing about training, nutrition, none of that this week. You're going to focus and you're going to tell us, what did you accomplish the last 90 days? What did you avoid doing? What did you learn? And then you're going to set us, and that's for the last 90 days. And then you're going to let us know, what is your physical target? What is your mental, emotional target? And what is your life target? Okay. You're going to let us know all of those things, and we're going to lock that in and get you guys in the best place possible going into Q4. Okay. Let's lock it in. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Okay. Blame it on the island life. Hope you guys had a great podcast. Let's lock the fuck in. Have a great week.